So yeah, I mean, Smokey and the Bandit had always been a huge part of my life. I mean, I remember even going to school and trying to do that stupid laugh that he had. The I can't even do it anymore.
No, nobody could do that laugh of a Reynolds.
But yeah, it was one of those things, being 6, 7, 8 years old, sneaking up the street to my neighbor's house to go to their basement. As weird as it sounds to watch Smokey and the Bandit, you would not expect kids to say that thing. I'm going I just snuck out of the house, went up to the neighbor's house and went into his basement to watch a movie. That is not something that kids nowadays would ever say.
No. For lots of different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't.
You wouldn't see the kid again. And 2, they'd be confused why they couldn't just watch it in their room on their phone. So
yeah, well, I tried to explain kids that we didn't have access to TV movies all the times, and we only had 4 channels to watch, including PBS, and they can't figure that one out. But anyway, is that it?
No, there is another.
Yeah, just be wary. I have 2 beers today. This is that one time of the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And this is the first thing I've had to drink in a long time. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, be wary.
We're in trouble.
No, I think you're fine. Because I think it might be the storm weather over here.
Did Texas win yesterday?
I don't know. Let me look. It was one of their fiercest competitors. I don't even think Texas or Seattle's won, period. Seattle plays Dallas today. They better win that.
I was looking at your koozie.
No, yeah. So I got beer number 1 is Texas. Beer number 2 is Darth Vader and the Seahawks. The Seahawks Empire.
I have my my Kyle Busch NOS Rowdy Punch.
I have no idea.
I've got.
I don't even know what Rowdy Punch is.
Kyle Busch is a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Rowdy's his nickname.
Oh.
So they made and NOS is one of his sponsors. So they made a flavor, but it's fruit punch.
Wait, isn't
it is?
Oh yeah, Texas won. 31-16. Go Horns.
The freaking Browns won, man.
Wait, did you get free beer?
Cleveland got free beer, yeah.
What? Wait, is that why you were in Cleveland yesterday?
No.
You made the excuse to go see my favorite band.
My beer was way not free.
Yeah. You had stadium beer.
Yeah, it was. What was that? House of Blues.
Oh, really?
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I even know House of Blues.
It was fun. I've figured out that it's probably the last concert I'm going to where I'm standing the entire time and in the front row because I feel like a truck hit me today.
Oh. Yeah, I think I can feel your pain, brother.
It was a lot of fun. It
is. I bet it was. I'm surprised you still got your voice today.
Yeah, there was some worry about that at one point last night because I was yelling along pretty good. It's like a 12-year-old girl watching a concert.
What was the name of the band you went to again?
Blackberry Smoke.
Blackberry Smoke. Hold on.
Yeah.
until you actually said something about them, and their number one song would be, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy shit.
It's this one.
No wonder my voice hurts.
I'm actually going to be playing their music, this song, on the metal detecting show today. So I was really impressed with it. Yeah, maybe I can close out the show with that.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I like them.
Yeah, I'd never heard of them
I
before.
like them a lot.
Never heard of them before. But anyway, yeah, you got a lot of stuff to play around with.
Yeah, let's talk about Burt Reynolds a little bit.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds passed on September 6th of this year. Kind of unexpectedly, from what I understand. He had just signed on to be in Quentin Tarantino's new movie.
Yeah, the movie
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, about the Tate murders.
Yeah. Well, I think it's based around the time of the Manson murders. I think it's about Hollywood during that time. I don't necessarily think he covers a whole lot of the Manson part of it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and he's going to go into that a lot because there's a lot to be said about that portion of the story. But I think you might be right because from what I understood, Burt Reynolds was supposed to be playing, and go figure, he was supposed to be playing an aging actor who was trying to make a comeback. Which, by the way, oddly enough, this movie was supposed to be his new comeback.
Yeah. The really sad part is he didn't get a chance to film any of the stuff for the movie.
No, I know. They just went into production, didn't they?
Yeah. There was some
week
rumors
after.
There was some rumors when he first passed that he may have filmed some of the stuff, but no, he didn't get a chance to film any of it.
If he gets that Star Trek gig, I'm going to stop watching Star Trek. But anyway, he has a tendency to.
Oh, that'll be the Star Trek I'm in line for.
I've really fallen out of favor with Tarantino films. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction are some of the greatest films ever made. I think for basically of their genre, they're the greatest. And then you get into things like Kill Bill. Part 1, loved it. Loved the different kind of going from anime style to this martial arts kind of style to all these different things inside one movie. I thought that was so cool. And then it's like, I don't have any more ideas. We'll just make an actual movie for the second part. And I was like, okay. And then, he did the war one. Which one was it? Inglourious Bastards. I liked it. And I never want to see that last one he did with the people stuck inside the pub or the bar somewhere.
Hateful Eight?
Yeah. I don't want to see it.
Oh, that was good.
I did like Django Unchained. Django Unchained was more Quentin Tarantino style.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand how he could capture something like the period around the Tate murders into a movie. What is the story that he's trying to bring into this if it isn't Charles Manson and the Tate murders? And that's what kind of really trips me out about what this movie is. Now, when you talk about the characters, I mean, we've got Burt Reynolds was supposed to be the older star. Who was playing Sharon Tate? Harley Quinn. Help me out here.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie is playing Sharon Tate. And then everybody else in the house that was murdered has also been cast, including Sharon Tate's husband. I can't remember what his name is anymore either. The actor. Director. But I just don't see how Quentin Tarantino can make a movie like that work. I mean, you know Quentin Tarantino's style, but how is this going to be? I don't. Would I? Am I going to want to watch a Quentin Tarantino style version of Frozen?
That would be.
I would
be
I
see
would
that.
watch that. I would watch that.
Actually, I probably would
watch
too, with the singing and everything.
Yes.
Because in the end, the snowman would just be like killing everybody.
He'd be taking a carrot out of his nose and just stabbing everybody in the eye sockets. Olaf, down.
Are you kidding me? I am wonderful. I've always wanted a nose.
Anyhow, back to Burt Reynolds for a minute. I had read a story after he died. Do you guys know how the idea for Smokey and the Bandit came about?
No.
They were making a movie called Gator, which Burt Reynolds was in.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a stuntman, and I can't think of the guy's name. I tried to look. I had it saved at one point, but go figure.
Is that the guy that used to be his roommate or something, right? In college or something like that?
I think so. Or we could be totally making all this up. But anyhow, the stuntman would go back to his hotel room, and they had Coors beer. And at the time, Coors beer obviously wasn't allowed to be past. Was it the Mississippi?
I think it couldn't be east of the Mississippi, something like that, or yeah.
Right. Well, and the reason for that, and I didn't know this either. The reason for that is that it was completely made fresh. It was never pasteurized. So one of the reasons why you weren't allowed to take it as past wherever it was, you weren't allowed to take it past Mississippi or wherever it was, because it would go bad. So the laws basically just said you can't have this past this portion of the country because it'll go bad, right?
Yeah, yeah. I see. You're really enjoying that NOS energy drink right now.
I am.
He's like stifling a burp the entire time he's talking.
So the stuntman would go back to his hotel, and there was a refrigerator in the hotel, and he kept noticing that 2 or 3 cans of his Coors would be missing every time he came back to his hotel. So he started to suspect that it was the housekeeping that was taking the Coors, because they couldn't get it where they were at. So she would, the housekeeper would grab 2 or 3 cans for herself or for her husband or whoever. So he finally set a trap, and he started counting, how many beers he had in his fridge, and realized that that's what was going on. And that's what initially gave him the idea to write Smokey and the Bandit, was because
genius.
They couldn't get the beer where they were. He thought it would be fun to write a story about people, trying to go get it. And it just so happened that, he was Burt Reynolds' stuntman, so obviously Burt Reynolds was the guy to play the Bandit.
And I don't think they could have cast anyone better for the role.
No. I mean, that entire movie was cast so well.
Oh, it was perfect. It was a perfect movie.
You couldn't have anybody else play Jerry Reed's part. You couldn't have anybody else play Sally Field's part.
No. And then Jerry Reed doing the theme song.
Jackie Gleason, yeah, as the sheriff. But that song is responsible for more speeding tickets than probably any other song in history, because the second it comes on, everybody's foot gets about 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, if nobody remembers this song, if there is anybody who doesn't know who Smokey and the Bandit is, or you can't remember what it is we're talking about, this is probably one of the quintessential songs of the late 70s. It became, there was nobody who was not walking down the street singing this. Oops. Yeah. So if you don't know that song, I mean, you hear that song about 10 times during the movie.
Yeah.
But
every time they're on the road, they play that song. I mean, we talk about just that one, but think about the body of work this guy had. You know, Cannonball Run, Stroker Ace. He had a Academy Award nominee for Boogie Nights, which was well after.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, all of the stuff that he did in the 70s. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yes, and
Deliverance is probably one of his greatest films. I mean, cinematically, the performance he gave is spot on. He was an actor. He was a character actor that was.
The thing about him was he liked having more fun than he did getting any of the accolades that a normal actor would sought after.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think for him, and that's what made him so likable as a person, as a character. Because, I mean, look at the differences. You could tell that he really got dark when Deliverance came out. And just a couple years later, Smokey and the Bandit, probably one of his the most lighthearted movies he ever made, besides maybe the Cannonball Run series or anything else. He is a wonderful guy, and the fact that he loves to enjoy life, and I think really made him lovable.
Yeah, we won't talk too much more about him, but I grabbed a few Burt Reynolds quotes that I thought kind of summed up how he looked at things. So the first one was, marriage is the most expensive way for an average man to get laundry done. My movies were the kind they show in prisons and airplanes because nobody can leave. He said, I can sing as well as Fred Astaire can act.
Wait a second. I like singing in the rain. Come on.
Well, no, he was admitting Fred Astaire could sing. He just said Fred Astaire couldn't act.
I know. Well, I'd like singing in the rain. And I like Fred Astaire. I like everybody in the movie.
Okay.
You can only hold your stomach in for so many years was another one of his quotes.
Yeah, trust me, I found that out.
True. That is true.
I found that one out.
Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does buy you hookers.
Yeah, that must have been a quote right after Best Little Whorehouse.
Yeah.
Yep.
A fan is a friend no matter what current he or she operates on. AC or DC, thanks for being one of mine was another one of his quotes. There are no awards in Hollywood for being an idiot.
Nope. Trust me. Nope. We see that every day with Justin Bieber.
It turns out not to be the case, but when he said it, you know, it was probably true.
Yeah.
If you hang on to something long enough, it will come back in style, like me. That one was probably one's probably my favorite.
And that's the weird thing.
We should probably end on,
because his career really did come in waves. I mean, it really did. Yeah. The early 80s, the late 80s, the mid 90s, the early 2000s, and he was supposed to make his comeback now.
And he was getting ready to come back again.
Yeah.
So, Godspeed, Burt Reynolds. We'll miss you. We always have the movies to make us laugh. When the day passed, I made it through Smokey and the Bandit and Stroker Ace, which is probably my favorite. Burt Reynolds movie. And then Becky tapped out. She couldn't do any more Burt Reynolds movies.
Yeah, and you know what? I
Uh,
might make my wife do that next weekend. I think we'll do Smoking the Bandit 1 and 2 next weekend.
Yeah, I wanted to watch Cannonball Run, but I couldn't find that streaming anywhere. The weird thing is I found Cannonball Run 2, which I thought was really odd that they had that one, but not the first one. So I've got it on DVD somewhere. I'll have to dig that one out because I like that one a lot too.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's just give a little pause. If this works, it'll be cool. So this one's for you, Bert.
Breaker one. This is the bandit. It's a snowman out there. Am I hitting you, son? Mercy sakes, you put about 8.5 on me. Blowing my windows down. Bring it on. I'll be within earshot. You keep it wound up to around 90. Hey, bandit, me and Fred's got a question. What do you and Fred want? How come we doing this? Well, why not? Well, they said it couldn't be done. Well, that's the reason, son. That's good with Fred. We're clear. And 4.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Let's move on to someone else's career that's going in the toilet.
Are we talking about Justin Bieber finally?
No, we're going to talk about Henry Cavill for a minute.
Okay. Let's do this one because this ties into another one of my pet peeves. I'm definitely in for this one.
Uh-oh.
This is a weird story because according to Hollywood Reporter, and there's a lot that's been come out and said since I initially put this in the notes, and we'll go over that too. But according to Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers was wanting to sign Henry Cavill in a cameo for Shazam. They wanted him in a cameo for Shazam.
Which makes sense.
It does. However, sources indicate that the negotiations broke down. And somehow we went from him not wanting to do a cameo in Shazam to him not playing Superman anymore at all. And there's been some back and forth between his publicist and Warner Brothers, and he had this really weird cryptic Instagram. Did you guys see the Instagram?
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now, so hopefully we can play this. Let me see if I can play this for you right now. This is actually his response to the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you can call it a response.
Yeah.
And he slowly lifts up a Superman action figure and then brings it back down, looking stoically into the camera. Exactly.
The man's lost his mind.
What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, what does this mean?
It means he's taken way too much red kryptonite. That's exactly what it means. He's
think
lost
so.
his mind.
And then the song choice, nothing makes sense. Is he saying that he's back as Superman? Is he saying that he's going to remain Superman? Or is he saying that he's finally bringing in Krypton the dog?
My daughter would be very happy with a crypto movie. She loves crypto. Has since she was little. But supposedly now Warner Brothers is completely shifting their gears towards a Supergirl movie.
That's fine with me. Now, the reason why I'm really excited about this, and I don't like seeing Henry Cavill leave as Superman because I think he has potential to bring Superman to the movie the way it should be, the way that, it was back in the early 80s. Help me out here. Name is slipping me.
Christopher Reeve.
Thank you very much. The way Christopher Reeve would really encompass the Superman ethos. the duality of both personalities. I think Henry Cavill has the ability to do it. The problem is that he's been getting subject matter from the wrong source. And
Well, if he has the ability to do it, we haven't seen it yet.
no, I know.
There was something about Christopher Reeve that when he was Clark Kent, he was completely Clark Kent.
Yeah.
He embodied.
Yeah, that's true.
character.
And that's
it-
Henry Cavill never had the
it was-
opportunity.
No.
No.
He had hobo Clark Kent roaming around, and then he was Superman, and he was a really good Superman. But his Clark, I never bought the Clark
Yeah.
Kent.
Oh, you
side
forgot
of
you forgot about young Clark Kent having to deal with emo dad. You forgot about that one too. But like I said, it all has to deal with the subject matter that he's giving. The person that was writing these movies and directing these movies really caused the downfall of this series. And I think that if Henry Cavill was given the opportunity with the right writer, the right director, the right production crew, he could really nail the Superman duality. He could do it.
I'm beginning to wonder now if the ship hasn't sailed a bit, because Henry Cavill has now signed on to play the lead role in The Witcher, which is going to be on Netflix.
Ooh.
So there's gonna be some conflict as far as time and scheduling goes.
Yeah, that's big, because the only thing that, from what I was understanding, the only thing that DC wanted to do, they didn't really want to do another Superman movie. They wanted Superman to be in all these other DC movies, and that's what caused this whole issue.
I think if it was me and I was running Warner Brothers, which I'm obviously not because I'm sitting in my basement.
And you know too much
of guys.
And you know too much about the DC universe to actually direct a movie.
I guess I don't think I'd want to direct it. Maybe write it or consult, but I don't think I'd want to write it. If in fact Henry Cavill is leaving, they need to do a complete reset.
They do.
Yep.
This is the perfect time to replace Affleck as Batman, because he's been kind of wishy-washy back and forth whether he wants to do it or not. If we're going to get a new Superman, we might as well get a new Batman and start over. Wonder Woman's fine. We can keep Wonder Woman. She's kind of been in her own space anyway.
I love the idea, but the problem is when we do a hard reset like this, everything that has happened right to this point in the motion picture series, we got major issues with. If we do a hard reset, Suicide Squad 2 fail. Wonder Woman and Justice League fail. That means none of those exist. And if they get Gal Gadot to actually redo Wonder Woman, then they have to act as if the first 2 movies with her didn't even exist. 3 movies.
Well, she was in, this just a tiny little bit of Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
As far as her own standalone movie goes, aside from the very beginning where she gets the briefcase from Bruce, where we don't actually see Bruce.
True.
That was the only connection there. God knows what they're doing with the Joker. Because
God. Don't even get me on that one.
Oh.
Don't even get me on that one. Please don't get me on Joaquin Phoenix as a Joker.
No.
Those first couple of pictures that they've released of him made me want to cry.
I don't understand why people are saying that this is okay. We're kind of switching gears here. Let me back up slightly. If we're doing a hard reset, and I think this is where we are kind of going, we're going into a kind of a reset mode for the DC worlds, or worlds of DC, as far as the big screen. And I think what we're about to see is we're finally about to see Zack Snyder be dropped from the DC universe. they're going to start bringing in somebody to oversee the entire encompassing circle and let people write the individual movies, and one person will drive the movies. And I'm not talking about the television series or anything else, because those are a completely different universe.
I wouldn't be surprised if that has already happened. They just haven't announced it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we're going to see.
Because we have some good Superman news.
Oh,
we have some good Superman news.
Hit me with it.
This year is the 40th anniversary of the Richard Donner Superman the movie.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And it just dude, do you realize how old that just made all three of us?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All three of us saw that in theater.
Fandango and Fathom Events are going to put the movie back in theaters November 25th.
You're kidding me.
No. So we're going to be able to see the original Superman the movie back on the big screen in November.
Are they going to be doing like a Fandango original poster for this?
I don't know.
That would be so awesome, getting a comic book artist to do an original movie poster for Superman for its re-release. And then a limited edition.
I would imagine. Are you guys familiar with Mondo?
Oh, I got sitting right here. I got a Mondo Tees Captain America directly over my head.
Yeah, so I would definitely I would love to see them do a Superman the movie.
Hold on.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I had to actually tear my studio apart. I had to turn the sound down.
So it'll be on a Sunday, November 25th. As far as I know, they don't have theaters listed yet. At least they didn't the last time I looked. Yeah, it says looking for movie tickets. Enter your location to see what movie theaters are playing Superman. Let me put mine in. It's going to laugh at me because there's never any of these around me.
I could actually ask my friend. He actually wrote. Wow! Can you scream any louder?
I was wrong. They're going to be playing one right down the street. So, yeah, at least according to this, it's $12.50 is what this is showing to go see Superman.
And that's fantastic.
In November.
And honestly, it's going to be I think it's a 4K HD re-release, so it's going to be worth every penny that you go see it.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I honestly I don't remember seeing that one in the theater. I know I saw the second one, but I don't remember seeing the first one in the theater.
I remember actually standing in line. I can't remember. I was at somebody's house at the time. What was that? 1980, right?
No, that was 70. Well, it was, let's see, 40,
78, obviously 40. I am so stupid. It's 40th anniversary. So 78.
Math is hard.
Math hard. Lance smirks. Math hard. Yeah, so 1978. So I was 7 years old. And I remember standing in line to see it because I was at somebody's house and I think it was three of us went to go see it. And that was the year after Star Wars. And that's why I remember it so vividly because I don't even remember how many times I saw Star Wars the year before. Unbelievable. But,
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, you don't even want to know.
Well, Lance, you told me about this next one. So what do you know about Ryan Reynolds and the Thundercats?
Okay. So there is a massive debate that this new Netflix series with Ryan Reynolds and the director of the Terminator series,
Michael Bay.
Michael Explosions Bay. We're
Wait,
making.
wasn't James Cameron did Terminator?
Yeah, James Cameron was the original writer of Terminator, Terminator 2, The Abyss, True Lies, Titanic, Avatar, Avatar 2, Avatar 3, Avatar 4, coming to a theater near you in the next, I don't know, 40 years, I guess now. It's been postponed. But anyway.
Well, now we're making another cat movie, apparently.
Okay, so this everybody was saying that Ryan Reynolds was in a secret project that was going to actually be the Thundercats movie because it's been kept so quiet lately. But one of the things I have to pause here. Let me pull up some stuff real quick. Sorry,
I've got that. While you're looking at that, I've got the Ain't It Cool News article up, and it says it was announced that Michael Bay was to direct a movie for Netflix titled Six Under.
That's it. Yeah, Six Under.
Starring Ryan Reynolds and Dave Franco, along with a few other big names. MovieWeb is now claiming that there are reports that this is a cover up, like a fake name, like Blue Harvest or something like that. This is a cover for a live action Thundercats movie.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing was. It was a fake news. God, I hate saying it's fake news. But anyway, it's a bit of fake news that
it's huge. It's a huge fake news story.
That was the biggest fake news. That was the biggest fake news you've ever heard. It's going to be the biggest fake news. I'm going to build a wall around it, and I'm going to make fake news pay for it. See you later, CNN. Anyway.
The cats are huge. The cats are huge.
But what it was is they were saying that this was a secret code for a Thundercats movie that was getting made. And to me, it's huge news. If Ryan Reynolds is tied on to produce and act in a Thundercats movie, I have the feeling, noticing the Deadpool movies, that he's going to bring his love into the subjects. He is a huge comic book geek. He's a cartoon geek. He is just a geek overall, and he's funny as hell. But
after Deadpool, he can kind of write his own ticket
at
this point.
Yeah.
He's got free reign to, who's going to say, yeah, that's probably not a good idea, Ryan. You probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. And so he came out and said, do you have his tweet directly in front of you right now? I'm having a hard time finding it right now.
I do not.
Okay, let me find out. Hold on. Another pause. You can cut this.
This even says that less than a year ago, Mila Jovovich had expressed interest in playing Chitara.
If Mila Jovovich actually played Chitara, I would totally dig it. She doesn't have the proportions needed for Chitara, but she's got the action credentials for it, and I would totally dig it.
Gal Gadot didn't necessarily have all of the attributes needed to play Wonder Woman, and she pulled that off pretty good. So,
but I think she was more realistically a Amazonian than any other person that ever played it. Honestly, she looked more natural in the role. But when you think about her playing as Chitara was she was the very sexualized nature of the comic series. I hate saying it this way. It was the misogynistic 80s. You got to remember this.
True.
So they had a very distinctive look for each character, and Chitara was a voluptuous feline human.
Okay, here's the Ryan Reynolds tweet.
Human.
It says, I don't understand. Six Underground is an insane action film set in amazing locales like Florence, Abu Dhabi, and Thundera.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the most ridiculous rumor yet. So he did absolutely nothing to dispel the rumors.
But if I go
I love Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
so
Reynolds.
like him.
If you see his recent commercials on Facebook for what is it that game, they are absolutely hilarious. I actually click on his stuff for that, but right now he is where is it? Oh, he's been cast in the movie Clue.
Oh,
When did Clue
Oh,
go
they're
into?
remaking Clue.
Yeah, he's announced as an actor in the movie Clue. Anyway, so Six Underground. So I'm going into this. So it's due to come out next year. It's written, directed by Michael Bay, and written by the guys who did the Deadpool series. So that really gave people an incentive. That means that Ryan Reynolds is talking with them to get the vision that he wants into this. So that's why everyone's like, okay, this has to be.
Oh, and Zombieland. The Zombieland writer looks like he's attached to this too.
oh.
We can we can move on to a little bit of TV news because we're still talking about comic books a little bit.
Mhm.
Did you guys watch Sons of Anarchy? Were
No.
you guys Sons of Anarchy's fans?
I started it. I never got into it.
Sorry.
There was an actor in Sons of Anarchy named Ryan Hurst who played Opie in Sons of Anarchy. He is
Oh, wrong one?
Wrong
not
one.
that Opie. He has been officially cast to play a character named Beta in the upcoming season of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. That's Data's twin brother, right?
No.
Totally different.
Data and Beta? Come on.
There's a group of people in the Walking Dead comic called the Whisperers, and what they do is they wear the faces of zombies so that they can walk amongst the zombies without getting attacked.
Do they happen to carve a W into their forehead?
It's possible. Yeah.
Is that what we've been seeing coming for the last several years?
Yes. Well, the main leader of the Whisperers' name is Alpha, and Beta was her number 2. And in the comics, he was this huge ex-basketball player. And if you know what Ryan Hurst looks like, he's an enormous man. So he's going to be playing Beta in the upcoming season of The Walking Dead, where we will see Andrew Lincoln leave. We will see Laurie Cohen leave. So I don't know what they're doing with this show.
It should just end.
It really hit the wall when they killed Carl, because that was kind of the end of the. You know, if they want to do spin-offs, if they want to do things in the world, but not necessarily base it on the comic that everyone has read, that's fine. I really enjoy Fear the Walking Dead because I don't have any preconceived notions as to what should be going on in that show. I've actually ended up enjoying that one more than I do the regular one, just because I'm not constantly picking apart, well, that didn't happen in the comic, this should have happened in the comic, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to watch it, but I have a feeling if it doesn't end after this season, it probably should.
It's coming to a close pretty soon.
Yeah. I think it will also, because they're losing 2 major characters, but I think they have enough people built up as replacements for them, one of which is not even in the comic books, and you know they're never going to kill Daryl.
Right.
And so they can finally bring him into his own.
He's going to have to be their saving grace if they want to keep this going. It's going to have to be Daryl's show.
And I think what's going to happen is that's going to be able to give them the opportunity to create the Walking Dead TV series, Fear the Walking Dead TV series and the Walking Dead comic books, 3 independent items that have nothing to do with each other anymore, except maybe a couple character names. And I think that's going to be...
Oh.
Man down.
Okay, like I said earlier, I need to get new lightsaber holders, which are words only uttered by a nerd. But
So-
yeah, I think we're moving forward, but we're on the precipice. We're on a razor's edge right now, and it's all gonna balance on this coming season. Season 9 is it.
Now here's the other interesting thing that I read this week about Walking Dead is what is this from? This is from Deadline. It says, looking to go for many more years, The Walking Dead premieres its upcoming 9th season next week in Los Angeles with a full Hollywood screening at the Directors Guild of America. However, at the Big Apple, they're talking about New York Comic-Con that's coming up. The AMC Blockbuster intends to take a bite of more. This is written so weird. It is like I'm reading it and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I'll skip the part to where the writer obviously was distracted.
Please do. So you are now officially where I would click skip 15 seconds on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, don't skip any farther. This is the part I was getting to. With the departure of lead Andrew Lincoln and changes behind the camera in the form of a new showrunner of Angela Klang, The Walking Dead will hold panels at both Pallyfest in New York and New York Comic Con in early October, just before the debut of season 9. Just like in San Diego Comic Con, they'll be packed to file marshal capacity. Even with the ratings declining the past couple of years, The Walking Dead has still been the top drama on all TV in the key 18 to 49 demographic the past 6 seasons. Now, they've also said that the Walking Dead universe and the apocalypse is a subject that has an eternal quality to it because it's about how society organizes itself, says AMCN's Josh Sapin. This is the part that caught me. We have plans to manage it over the next decade plus.
Whoa.
Wow.
Holy cow. I mean, they do have the ability to do that. If they kill off characters, they can. It is a survival show. It's a group of people trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world with zombies or walkers, however you want to call it. So they have the ability to create something new from this that it could go forever. There's no end that I could see. The only end that could be is the public.
Exactly. It could go forever, but who's going to watch it?
Exactly. And that's what the public pays for this. The public have been paying for the last 8 seasons through the commercials because they know it is a massive show. But if it starts losing viewership, they're going to start losing sponsors, which means they're going to start losing money. That means each episode is going to cost less, and they're going to have less ability to make a good functioning story. So we'll see.
Yeah, because I mean, the effects and everything in that show are movie quality.
Yeah.
You start losing funding and that type of thing, you're going to end up with, what the hell was
The Asylum
one?
Sharknado.
Z Nation or whatever that one was that was freaking terrible.
Well, don't hate that sci-fi. I love the sci-fi movies. I love my B movies.
I do too, but I don't want them in my Walking Dead.
No, that is something that needs to be kept separated. You got to keep them separated. Did I just put a song in your head? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you suck. Just when the Spice Girls were leaving, you put that one in there.
Oh boy.
And that's what I'm here for, you know? I don't have any kind of knowledge other than my little stupid bits. You guys bring the news, I bring the dumb.
Oh, okay.
I think we have dumb covered in spades between the three of us. So.
I think we do.
Another little bit of news, different from, we'll switch gears from Walking Dead. This is the final season of Gotham on Fox.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Have you seen what they're bringing in
No.
for this season?
No. I've actually fallen behind since the beginning of season 3. It got too expensive for me over here in Germany. I only got the first 2 seasons on Netflix over here on German Netflix. So I've been waiting until it all shows up over here. Because I don't like the cliffhangers that they've got on this show.
Yeah. Well, the last, I'd say midway through season 3 and season 4, they've really kind of found their footing. They've embraced the fact that they are
Campy.
This generation's Batman 66. Right.
Yeah,
They've embraced the camp, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we need, is some kind of a campy Batman.
Yeah. Well, this season, there's been pictures from the set of the mutant gang from The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah. That's where what's her name, Robin, shows up.
So I wish I could show you guys this picture. Well, I might be able to. Well, yeah, do you have the notes up? It's in the notes.
I'll take a look.
But you can see the mutant leader, and then he's got a couple of cronies behind him in the mohawks and the visors and everything. So they're bringing in the mutant gang for season 5.
That's really cool.
What's that?
Something, honestly, with everything that's going on with DC trying to separate so many different things, for them to bring in something from Batman Returns universe into this, I think is a really big step, because they're starting something that could later on down the line bring implications. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely think we're going to see the kid in the suit in the last episode.
You think?
I really think they'll put him in a Batman costume.
Lucius will give him something.
The show. I mean,
I would love seeing it.
They kind of did the same thing with Smallville. You
Yeah.
know, we saw Tom Welling in the suit just for a second right at the end, but so
that's a show I need to watch, is Smallville. I was in the military at the time, and
I loved Smallville. Smallville was so good.
Yeah, I was in the military at the time, so I wasn't able to actually watch it all the time. I was either in Germany or Italy or deployed, so I was really, yeah.
It really opened the door for everything that the CW is doing now with all of their comic book shows. Smallville was kind of the proof that could work.
The beta test.
And then they just took it to the next level. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fantastic. I mean, the DC has really conquered the television, and that's the biggest thing. The part that I'm hating is DC on the big screen, and it's the exact opposite of Marvel. Marvel has failed on the TV, but massively hammered it on.
Well, it depends on what show you're watching on Marvel. Marvel has gotten some pretty good TV shows here recently. Cloak and Dagger was excellent. That one was pretty good.
I haven't started that one yet.
The Gifted was pretty good.
Yeah, I really like that one.
The Runaways, which was on Hulu, that one started off slow, but it got pretty good. trying to think of what else there was. Obviously, it's debatable, but the Netflix shows have been pretty good for the most part.
Well, yeah, they have been. They Netflix. It's weird. They've really been hammering the TV shows, except one or two, but they've really failed on the movies. It's so weird with those two.
Well, you want some more Batman news? I got some more Batman news.
Sure.
Can I get more Batman news?
We do. This one's coming from the comic books. Next year will be Detective Comics number 1000. So it'll be the
Wow.
second. Yeah, it'll be the second U.S. comic book to hit an issue 1000. We had Action Comics 1000 this past year.
Yeah,
and
that
it
would
looks
have been
like they're going to be
Superman. Yeah.
they're going to be doing some of the same things that they did with Action with Detective Comics. They're going to have multiple stories in it, multiple artists and creators. Scott Snyder's going to be a part of it. Jock's going to be a part of it. Who he's working on a Batman story with Scott Snyder called The Batman Who Laughs, which is a spin-off of Dark Knight Metal that they did.
Huh.
Greg Capullo is going to be working on what he's saying is his final Batman story called The Last Night on Earth, which will be part of Detective Comics 1000. Tom King, who's the current writer of Batman, is going to be working on part of Action 1000, and they believe that much like Action Comics kind of led into the Brian Bendis run of Superman.
Yeah.
Like they introduced the beginning of that at the end of Action 1000. They're going to use Detective Comics 1000 to introduce what they're calling the Three Jokers, which is part of their Black Label banner that they're doing. It's kind of a more mature label that they're doing. They just started just this week. Batman Damned came out, which was issue 1 of Batman Damned came out, and it's a story of Batman and Constantine together.
Oh, really?
That they're doing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, issue 1 was really good. The art was amazing. I think it's going to be a pretty good series. But that's a limited series that they're doing also under the Black Label banner.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Speaking of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, they are reteaming for a Swamp Thing story.
Oh.
Those
which
two,
I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, Snyder could really, he hammers down on a lot of the stories. The stories that he brings are really ingenious, really inventive, and he really hammered the Dark Knight. So seeing him do Swamp Thing would really be something original, and I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be part of a short story. They're doing a, is that 50? Is that Batman 50?
This would be 24.
Oh, 24. So I was going to say, if it was 50, poo on 50, because they had us thinking they were going to get married for 20. Yeah, marry me. Well, guess what?
This is the black
spoilers. That didn't happen.
This is the black and white cover with Catwoman and Batman says, "Marry me, I'm Batman."
Yeah. Well, that. Then she said no.
Wow, no. Wait, I'm sorry. That was Batman 66.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyhow, the Swamp Thing story is going to be part of a short story. They're doing a Halloween special.
Ooh.
So there'll be a bunch of different stories in a Halloween special. It'll also feature Wonder Woman. Whether or not that is part of the Swamp Thing story or a separate Wonder Woman story, it really didn't say. But that's all I've got for news.
That is fantastic. That's awesome. Now, we are obviously a bunch of geeks. So if we've missed anything, let us know, write us, tell us, keep us informed. If you hear something that we might not have, let us know. Find us on Facebook under There Is Another. You can find us on Twitter. There Is Another Podcast. You can find me, Lance Goolsby, on Facebook. You can find any one of these guys and let us know if there's anything that we might have missed, and give us an update. Let us know what it is.
All of those links are on there'sanotherpodcast.com. So if you want to go to the website, everything, all the Facebook, the Twitter,
Even the podcast.
And the podcast you can listen to right there. Everything is right there on the website.
Now, we do have a request for one of the coming episodes, which would be a DC breakdown. Now, because I just remembered something.
Okay.
I just saw a cat's ass on the camera. So I need to bring something up. We just recently got the trailer for Captain Marvel, and on that trailer on iTunes is the poster for Captain Marvel.
Wait. How? I've seen Brie Larson. She does not look like a cat's ass.
But in the poster,
I don't know how you got from one to the other, and I will not edit this out because I have to hear the explanation of, cat's ass, Brie Larson. There's Captain Marvel.
Okay. Do you know the connection between Captain Marvel's cat and the Avengers?
It's a Cree ass, right? It's a crawl. It's a crawl ass. Is
What?
Okay.
What is going on?
When you're done, open up the poster for Captain Marvel. Okay, that's her standing in the hangar with the door slightly opening up. Okay, and she's standing there in her heroic pose, the lights behind her and everything. Look to the far left of those doors in the darkness. Captain Marvel's cat is sitting there, which is hinting at the connection between Captain Marvel and the Avengers all the way back in 1980 something. Because there is a cat there is the cat's ass walking out of the shot.
Well, it's not an ass, it's a cat.
Well, it's the back end of the cat with the tail sticking up, walking to the left out of the shot.
What in the world?
So this is what I wanted to bring up.
I thought for sure
I'm not the dumb one this week.
Sure I thought you had completely lost your mind. I had no idea where you were going with this at all.
So yeah, this is the one thing that I wanted to bring up because this is a big bit of information because
why is the cat? Why is the cat there? Why is the cat there?
Okay, the cat's name is Jill Pantosi. Okay, it is Carol Danvers' cat, but it's not an actual cat. The cat's actual name is Chewy. Okay. Now let me read the whole thing. This is coming from Polygon. So this is the full meaning behind the cat in the poster because Captain Marvel actually owns a cat and the cat's name is Chewy, and this is what it all means. Now, this is a direct quote from Polygon website. With only a few months to go before the release, Marvel is keeping most Captain Marvel details close to its chest. The first trailer emphasized Carol Danvers' murky history and Brie Larson's physical performance. Instead of a villain, we got Carol punching an old lady in the face. We still don't know if Jude Law is actually playing Mar-Vell, the original Captain Marvel. Now, when we go down, it says this, but thanks to a little Easter egg shrouded in the shadow on Captain Marvel's official one-sheet poster, we do know one new character who will make her first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Chewie. Okay? They've completely re-altered the lighting and everything. You can clear as day see this cat. It was spotted, by Jill Pantosi of IO9. The feline sauntering through Carol's hangar is no ordinary cat. It's actually Chewie, a pet that accompanied Carol as she traveled the galaxy and took on the mantle of Captain Marvel. Introduced in 2006's giant-sized Miss Marvel #1 and later named, yes, after Chewbacca, in Miss Marvel Volume 2, #5, the cat has been a companion for Carol for a part of comic history that appears to be faithfully translated for the big screen version. But here's the thing, Chewie isn't a cat. Despite whiskers,
I was just getting ready to. I was just getting ready to say. I'm looking at the superhero hype description of the cat, and there's some weird shit about to go down with this cat.
despite whiskers, eyes that will melt you, Carol's furbow friend is actually a flurkin, an alien creature that resembles a cat but has a number of terrifying powers that stretch far beyond the earthly realm. Think, okay, and when you think about this, think about...
Oh, wait, it gets better.
Think about Rocket Raccoon, okay? This kind of a furry creature that is able to talk, run around, has all these powers and everything else. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and read the rest of it. Now, this one doesn't go too far into the Flurkin story.
This one goes way too far into the Flurkin. Flurkin are similar.
Just don't flirt. Just do me a favor. Don't Flurkin hold anything back.
Oh no. I am Flurkin confused right now.
I'm Flurkin serious, man. Do not Flurkin hold back.
Flurkin are similar in appearance to Earth's cats, except that they lay eggs. They have access. Yeah. I wish everyone could see James's face when we put this podcast out, because he just lost his mind, and I haven't even gotten to the worst part. Okay, so Flurkin are similar in appearance to Earth's cats, except for they lay eggs and have access to pocket dimensions in their body where they can store the eggs, along with fangs, tentacles, and all sorts of other defensive mechanisms to ensure their survival in the cosmic universe.
I think we just broke it. I think James just broke it. Oh, this is too cool.
Of course, there's no way of knowing if Chewie will factor into the story. How can he not factor into the story? If I don't see fanged, tentacled cats laying eggs in pocket dimensions in this movie, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. Like, this should never have been on the poster if we're not going to see cats laying eggs.
Oh, I am so happy I brought something to this show this week that just made you guys blow up. Oh, this has been the greatest show ever.
Oh. What?
That is insane. Oh.
Anyway, James, what do you think about that? Are you flirking with this?
I quit.
Interesting.
I quit. We might as well just end the show. It's not going to get any better, weirder, or more confusing than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're at the end of There Is Another.
I laid an egg.
Anyway, we're going to go. We're going to visit. We're going to do a little tribute to our late, great Burt Reynolds and Jerry Reed, as a matter of fact. And not to mention Jackie Gleason. So here we're going to lead you guys out, and we'll see you guys in 1 week.
Snowman, you got your ears on?
You lucky devil, you got him. Where the hell are you?
I'm on a 2-lane blacktop. Highway marker number 71. How's our time doing?
Oh, damn, we're doing on time. Doing about 25 minutes ahead of schedule. Come back.
What's your 20?
Oh, I'm about 4 miles ahead of you, turkey.
Not for long.
Breaker to the bandit.
Come on back, Breaker. Bandit, I've got a smoky report for you. Come on. Well, talk to me, good buddy. You got trouble coming. Well, what's your handle, son? And, what's your 20? My handle's Smoky Bear, and I'm tail-grabbing your ass right now. God damn, it's a Texas Mountie. What the hell's he doing in Arkansas? Well, let's just see what he's got under the hood.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done?